Hello and welcome to Season 6 of Business Mentorship, Keepin It Real, introducing corporate leaders who have taken the leap to business owner and celebrate their great idea in our guest blog, found on shareyourstories.online. Our guest joins us from Hong Kong. Michelle Harris is the founder of Michelle Harris International. She's a two-time Amazon bestseller, teacher, trailblazer, and coach who has numerous awards for her work in elevating global consciousness. Let's find out how Michelle, as a master healer, includes an online course in life empowerment as part of her business model. It is my pleasure to welcome and introduce everyone to Michelle.
Hi, Trish. It's lovely to be here.
I'm so glad that we've had this opportunity to connect because you and I had the pleasure of meeting at the Women Changing the World Global Awards in April. Congratulations to you for winning gold in personal services.
Thank you. Congratulations to you too.
Thank you. Thank you. And I know I've been watching your social media posts and you've won numerous awards for your work just in this year alone. Has that affected your marketing plan on a global stage at this point?
In some ways, yes. In some ways, it's a continuation. I've been very fortunate to win a number of awards in the last few years, and it's been amazing, honestly, to receive that recognition. In terms of marketing, my approach is incredibly organic. It's incredibly intuitive. In other words, I go with what feels is appropriate for the clients at the time. And so therefore, me sharing the awards and the recognition is more a message I feel of hope. It's more about inspiration. It's more about connection on that human level. So my marketing is kind of geared to that. So from that point of view, it's obviously expanded a lot.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Now, I need you to explain something to me because I was reading through your website and of course your story. But what is a dragon energy master? I have all kinds of visions. I have all kinds of visions of about what that is. But maybe for our viewing and listening audience, you can satisfy our curiosity as to what that actually means.
So I started channeling healing symbols 25 years ago, which connected to the energy of dragon. And so this system of healing includes symbols and energy healing that I channel. And as I've worked with it, I've kind of used it first of all, as a means for my own healing, and then to share with others around the world. So as it's progressed, I've activated within myself the ability to be a master of using this kind of energy. So the Dragon Energy Master is from that. And it's not the first time. If you believe in other lifetimes and things like that, I've worked with this system for previously. So it's not a new system for me. It's for me to bring back here in this time frame to help people come into their full potential. So essentially, it's to be able to master energy, to be able to create change and impact in the individual and also group. So it's kind of shifting energy, blockages, using energy to create change in one's life, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, personally, and professionally. So this energy can be used for all of that. So essentially, it's using that energy to create the change. And I know what I'm doing. So it's being that master of that energy. That makes sense.
What I really love about your description is you're basically giving us hope that you can help us to master the change that's required for us to live our best life, really.
Yes, absolutely. Right? Exactly. And the tools to do that through working with people, I've developed so many tools now. So within this system, there's such a bank of tools to coach people through it, to be able to get to the place that they would like to be in their lives.
So you have an international business, and I know that the viewing and listening audience is going, okay, I really would like to have an international business. How do I do that? How do I reach my target market and the people that I would like to work with on a global stage? Because you've done that very successfully. Is there something specific that you have done? I know that you mentioned that your marketing is organic, and obviously in the work that you do, it's very important to organically connect with people. But is there something you specifically did to be able to reach and connect on a global stage?
So firstly, definitely it was word of mouth. So started obviously in Hong Kong, and through clients here who then spoke about me to their friends and family in different countries. Also, I was invited to share the system in Singapore, which was my first place to share healing sessions and workshops. So I was invited to go there through a healing center there. And then later on to Japan. So I went to Japan several times to also do it there. So it kind of grew internationally because of that. And then, of course, being through Zoom has been an amazing platform to be able to offer the services globally. And that's also been a huge reason that it shifted. So it's a combination of different things, but mostly, like I say, it started really with word of mouth, and people are curious about the work I do, curious about how it helps people to change, and that human connection really is the main reason, I would say.
You know, I love that you mentioned it's word of mouth, because, you know, when we first start our businesses, and you've been in business for a long time, word of mouth really is the organic way to meet people, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and it's because of the wonderful things that people say about the work that we do that it makes a connection and creates that curiosity for people to reach out, right?
Exactly. And I think for me personally, because my business is very service oriented and it's very people oriented, people connect to you because of your story, and it means it's authentic. So my journey is authentic. I share what I went through and how the tools I use help other people and help myself, of course. So it's authentic, and it connects to people on that kind of, I want to say, wound level or challenge level, because people have their own wounds and challenges, they relate to it. So, and they want, well, I want some of that. I would like to know how I can change. So there's definitely that element there, that kind of authentic connection as well, based upon the experience in your story. And I think sharing your story is important.
Very, very important, because, you know, I always say that not only is it important to share the story of our own journey, but it's also inspiring for the next generation of entrepreneurs.
For sure.
Right?
Oh, absolutely. No, honestly, I have people reach out to me saying, I'm just starting in my healing coaching business. You're so successful. How did you do it? What do I do? You know, and that really warms my heart, because it's like, well, if I can also help them to get started, to share some tools, and it's that ripple effect, isn't it? It's that knock-on effect, and it's all about supporting each other and helping each other rise, which I think is a kind of new model in many ways for businesses, because a lot has been based on competition. And I think as we're moving into this new era, it's about collaboration, it's about support, it's about helping each other rise together, not saying, I'm going to try and do better than you.
Right. And, you know, I mean, that's really the credo of our platform, right? We use collaboration over competition in everything we
do. And I love that.
Do you find that the awards that you've acquired throughout the years help with your credibility? So would you say to our viewing and listening audience who may be sitting there and thinking, okay, I've been at business for a little while, you know, I'm starting to get a name for myself, I'm building a rapport and a client base, but now I need to sort of step outside my comfort zone and perhaps get peer recognition, because I think peer recognition is one of the best ways to authenticate what we're doing.
Absolutely. It completely validates what you're doing. Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And certainly for me too, you know, over the last 4 or 5 years, I think it's 2019 was my first award. So 6 years. So over the years, it's kind of developed and built a momentum in terms of the awards, and as a result I've become more and more known, and my reputation has obviously shifted and been expanded. So I agree with you, absolutely.
You know, and what I love is that you're authentically honest about the fact that the awards took time to come, right? You need to get the experience in what you do.
Absolutely. And yes, and I do think that, yeah, the experience plus the wisdom, and I think that they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And that is really important. I have, of course, there's many coaches or healers or business owners who've just started, and I'm sure they're amazing at what they do. But I do think that experience and the wisdom that comes from running your own business and dealing with people, that is really important for sure. Yeah.
Now, so let us switch gears a little bit and tell us about being a 2-time Amazon bestseller, because that's another, that also adds to your credibility, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
Writing a book and sharing the story and the wisdom in a book also increases your visibility. So
yes,
tell us a little bit about how you became a 2-time Amazon bestselling author.
So again, these were actually both collaborative books. I'm a co-author with other women from around the world. So again, that reaching with women around the world, women coming together through an organization, again, invited to be able to speak in this book. So it's, I share in both books, share a chapter about my story. It's an inspiration. I take a theme based upon my story to inspire others to to take the wisdom and to change themselves and empower themselves. So it is a collaborative book. Both books are collaborative. They went to #1 in Amazon bestsellers. Funnily enough, talking about books, I'm also writing my own book at the moment about healing,
fantastic.
about the dragon energy, which has been there for many, many, many years. So I'm hoping it will come very soon. But I do believe that, again, having that and people seeing that out there adds to the whole experience, as you said.
Yeah, for sure. Now, tell us a little bit about the Life Empowerment course, because, one of the ways that we can connect with our target market is also through, as you mentioned, the online opportunities.
Yes.
And this is sort of it looked to me like it was a very concise, easy to navigate way to make a connection with that thing that you want to change. So give us a little bit of background into the Life Empowerment course.
So the Life Empowerment course is actually taking the nuggets of another program I do, which is the Empowerment Mentorship. That's a one-on-one program that I do face-to-face or online. So I created this online program where it's recorded meditation journeys for people to, and a workbook to follow through. So people can take the main teachings to use them in their own time and space, to open themselves up, to have deeper self-awareness, to start to self-reflect on their lives, to go a little bit deeper. So rather than hovering on the surface where you're responding to life's challenges, this is saying stop, pause, go a little bit deeper, go within. So it's kind of opening up that doorway for people to access themselves on a deeper level, to connect to understand their emotions, their beliefs, to start to work with those, to shift them and connect to their deeper selves, to know what is their truth, basically. So in a nutshell, that's what it does. So it's very self-direct. I share all the information. It's in your own time and space. I'm available for questions if people need them, have them. So it's intended to be easy. So I'm glad that that's how it comes across.
Well, I love the fact that you're available, because, I think part of the challenge with a lot of online courses is that there's no connection. There's no human being there that can sort of answer a question if you have it. So the fact that you're open for engagement with the individuals who take the course only adds to the success ratio, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely. It's interesting as well, though, because I do believe the interaction is the most important thing for my work, particularly because it's and I've noticed actually the the huge success in that empowerment mentorship program, because people can have direct access to me, to what I can share with them in that moment. So I do think that's really, really important. Because it's also, you know, because I tend to go quite deep in sessions with people, and the trauma that might come up for people, being available there and then is key to be able to guide people through it.
It's supportive as well, right?
Supportive, exactly. It is so supportive. It's huge. It's huge.
And it's really what you're all about, you know, everything that you do, right?
So much.
Support the journey, for sure.
Support, guide, nurture. Yeah.
Now, how did you get into the making the decision to launch your own business? Because we both know that's not for the faint of heart. That takes a huge personal and financial commitment, right? to kind of cross that bridge into self-employment. So if you had to describe a leadership skill that you had acquired when, you know, in your previous jobs, you know, that took you into entrepreneurship, they gave you that little bit of confidence, would you be able to describe one or two personal characteristics that you felt or skills that you learned?
Definitely the sense of independence. My jobs previously were, I was given quite a lot of autonomy because people believed in me. They believed in my ability and capability and responsibility as well. So I kind of had a lot of independence within my role to initiate what I felt needed to happen, which was fantastic. And I think that gave me that self-confidence to be able to say, I can do this. And actually for me, it was such a very, very deep inner knowing, I have to do this. And it was a very intuitive, I want to give back to the community. I want to make a meaningful contribution. So how can I best do that? Which is to bring together everything I've done and know it, to share it with others. So so I would say definitely the independence and that self-belief, self-confidence, self-leadership energy that came from me to be able to initiate that. Yeah.
Now, if you had to describe a barrier that you overcame on your entrepreneurial journey, because we all know there's peaks and valleys, it's not all, you know, white picket fence and sunshine all the time. So if there was a barrier that you feel that you've successfully broken as an entrepreneur, can you share with us what that might have been?
Yes, I do think that for me, having moments of self-doubt, so it's connected to that self-belief, self-confidence, that's always been, because I'm naturally an introvert, I'm naturally a very shy, very sensitive person. So that kind of self-confidence, self-belief, self-doubt energy has always been that theme. So that's why it was a big initiation to push me to do it, but also to nurture this kind of energy within myself as I've gone through my business. And certainly it's really, I've self-empowered because of it. But so those moments of self-doubt, thinking, oh my God, you know, well, you know, in the beginning, you're kind of building clients, you're this, and it's like it takes a sense of traction. And because then people get to know you and what you do, and it takes that time to build it, and then the momentum continues. And so that kind of helps to shift it again. Right. So
yeah, that's very true. That's a really great point, is that the confidence builder is the momentum that comes from the clients that we serve, right?
Yes, exactly. And that, you know, feedback, I've been so blessed to have some amazing testimonials, which is like, okay, yeah, I know I'm on the right track. I mean, I know it, but it's nice to hear it back.
Yeah, so, for sure. Oh, that's really wonderful. That's a really wonderful way to describe how you overcome the self-doubt, is through the momentum that you gain when you're starting to get traction in your business and the sales are coming in, and it doesn't feel so hard, right? It doesn't feel as difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you had to describe your ideal client, so the folks that are listening to us, and they may say, oh, you know, Michelle would never want to talk to me because I'm not a corporate leader, or I don't have a, you know, huge company, or, you know, oh, I just want to work on this small little thing. Do you have an ideal client? Is there someone that you find makes a really great connection with you?
I have been asked this question so many times, and honestly, it's a really difficult one to answer because my clients have ranged from, like, you know, 6, 7 years old to 70, 80 years old, from all walks of life, from corporate leaders to managers, to teachers, to accountants, to lawyers, to stay-at-home mums, to students, to entrepreneurs, even psychologists, counselors come to me, other healers. I have such a range of clients, and mostly I would say are females, women. I do have male clients, but mostly women who are who may have a block, who have maybe a block, and they're not identifying where that block is. It could be from past situations in childhood or whatever block, or they're feeling lost. And so there's a block there, and they just need help so I help to shift the block and create the tools for that empowerment to go forward. So really anyone who has any block, if you want it,
and that's a lot of people, I'm sure,
and that's a lot of people.
Exactly.
So it's very vague, I know, and I know from traditional marketing point you need to have your target market, but really for me I've learned to be so open to whoever comes that feels a need, because they connect to me. So whoever feels they connect to me and my energy, my light, my story, I say is the appropriate person to come to me.
And that's probably a really wonderful way to make the connection, because it is about connection.
It is so about connection.
Right? Because as much as you need the client to connect with you, you have to connect with the client in order for it to be a successful engagement, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I really do think that the personalities and how we show up is probably the thing that's most important, right?
Absolutely, exactly. And and there's going to be people who think, oh no, it's too X, Y, Z. They're not, I don't know, strategic enough. They're not this or whatever. But there's going to be people who know that perhaps they need a more nurturing, gentle approach, and they could see that I could offer that space for them to step into, to heal and to do that. So for sure.
Perfect. Oh, perfect. Now, one of the things that we do in our guest blog is we ask folks to share 3 words of advice. So I'd like to ask you today to wrap up our conversation by sharing with our viewing and listening audience why your 3 words are so important. And they are trust, believe, and empower.
So obviously this is very much based upon my own journey, and so it's very relevant and very authentic. But trust yourself, trust your soul, trust the universe. And within that is don't give up. You are more powerful than you think you are. You have the power and potential to move from feeling that powerless to empowered. And I know that if I can do it, so can you. And even when things feel bleak and there seems to be no way forward, or the challenges are there and they're really difficult, is trusting that they are part of your journey of transformation and enlightenment. So it's embracing them, learning from them, keep going, and recognizing actually they feed into your success. So trusting the process, because ultimately actually leads to your success. And believe in yourself, believe in the bigger picture, believe just believe, change your mindset into believing you can do it, and you will, right? We don't always know the whys or the hows, but for me, anyway, that intuitive guidance, as well as, it's not just about intuition for me, it's bringing that practicality, of course, but believing in the plan for you. Believe through that self-healing and self-awareness, you can unravel that plan to trust in that process. And if you have a dream or inspiration or an idea, believe you can do it, and you will. And then empower. Empowering yourself is the key, because by empowering yourself, you step into your potential. You follow your passion, you follow your heart, you follow your soul. And in so doing, you create that ripple effect to empower others. And as you demonstrate that energy of empowerment, it gives that hope and inspiration to others for them to follow that too, right? And as I mentioned earlier, that authenticity, I think people do like authentic leaders. And I really believe that true empowerment comes from that heart-led leadership. So, I would say that.
Well, Michelle, you've given us some really wonderful things to think about, because I think at this age and time in the world that we're all living in, we all need a little bit of hope, and we all need a little bit of guidance, and we certainly need to make a connection with other humans in order to reach our full potential. So thank you so much for joining us today and sharing some of your gifts. And we certainly will keep in touch, because when you launch that book, your own book, you can come back on the show and tell us all about it.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you, Trish. No, it's been lovely. It's so lovely to see you again and to connect and to share just a few words. So thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, thank you. And to your viewing and listening audience, Michelle and I would like to thank you for joining us today for this edition of Keeping It Real, introducing you to the person behind the logo. If you'd like to connect with our guest, you're going to find Michelle's contact information in the description portion below. I'm Trish Tonai, author, artist, and the founder and host for the series, and we invite you to share your business story. Just visit our website at shareyourstories.online and subscribe to our channel, Business Mentorship, Keeping It Real. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to meeting you next time when we share another great idea.